Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry if you hear any birds in the background. There's just a lot of birds outside of my house. So, if you can hear them in the background, I'm sorry. I'm also sick. Every time that I have time to record something, I get sick. So my voice sounds like shit right now. I'm sorry. It's just how it's gonna have to be, unfortunately. I apologize. On this video, I okay, I have just been like really like OC like pilled currently, and I just can't get them out of my mind. But I'm also having like a terrible art block, so I can't really draw them. So I need to satisfy this urge to talk about them some other way. And this is my way of doing that. Okay? Withering Gifts is shit. Sorry. Withering Gifts is my quote unquote main story. I have like 70 something OCs for it. It's a fantasy story that I really like. And this video is just, I don't even know how many minutes of me yapping about their story and the characters and the world building. And I did not make a script for this, so I don't know how coherent or understandable any of this is gonna be, and I apologize for that. This is very self-indulgent, so, I don't know how much of this you're actually gonna be able to understand if you are watching this video. But I'm gonna try to make it as understandable as possible. So before I actually go into the story, there are like three main context like points that I need to explain before going in. Number one, Withering Gifts is, like I said, a fantasy story. It's set it in a fantasy world. There are 8 kingdoms, and each of these kingdoms have a crystal. It's like a big crystal that is in the middle of the kingdom, and this crystal releases magic, just like how a tree releases oxygen, for example. This magic, it changes like the things around it, so like plants are not necessarily normal plants, and animals are also different, and humans have also been changed in a way. But this change happens in like their DNA, so it's beyond their control. Actually using magic, being able to control magic, is something only humans can do because it requires a level of thinking that most animals don't have. The way humans found to make their bodies able to carry magic is through a sigil. It can either be done by a tattoo or a scarification. It depends on the culture of each kingdom, but it has to be a permanent mark made on their bodies. Each crystal has a different mark tied to them, and you can only use the magic if you are within the reach of that crystal. So for example, you have a kingdom named Salin. The crystal in Salin has its own mark, so a human will have that either tattooed or scarred into their skin. And as long as they are within the perimeter or the border of Salin, they are able to use magic. As soon as they go out of the kingdom, they are too far away from the crystal to be able to use magic, so they no longer can use said magic. The only quote-unquote exception for this are the royal families or anyone who's extremely rich, because they have with them magical like gems. It's basically just a chipped, broken like gemstone of the big crystal that they have infused in their jewelries, so they carry it with them, and that allows them to use magic whenever they are. But regular people don't have that because it's obviously, I guess, very expensive to own something like that, so they don't have it. It's just reserved for the royal families. Point number 2 of the story that I think it's important to know about, it's religion. There are a lot of different religions within this world, as you can probably guess. But the main one, I guess, to explain for this video is called Edoism, or the Children of Eidos. It's the most popular religion. I guess a good 101 comparison to our world would be Christianity. Everywhere in the world, there's people that believe in it, but more specifically, the kingdom of Eden and Sinor are like this religion is infused in their government. So, they rule based on the rules of that religion specifically. Edoism, or the children of Edos, have their own version of the Bible, kind of. It's a book of poems called the Book of Eclipse, and in this book, there are a lot of, well, poems, and each of these poems are viewed as like prophecies that have either already been fulfilled or will be in the future. The most notable one for this video is the very last poem in the book. It's a prophecy that talks about how the world is gonna end. It talks about two different characters, the sun's child and the moon's daughter, and how those two are gonna fight because the moon's daughter is trying to destroy the world and the sun's child is trying to stop her from doing that. This is important because this prophecy is believed to be about two characters in the story, so you need to keep this information on your brain, okay? Point of context number 3 is the war. When the story begins, there was a very, very important and significant war that happened. Here's a timeline for you, okay? In 1403, the war started. In 1418, the war ended, so it was 15 years of war. And in 1425 is when the story begins. So the story begins 7 years after the war ended, okay? So the war it's very important for the story. It was between the kingdoms of Eden and Celestia. Eden came out as the winner of this war. And yeah, there's the war that happened, okay? So these are what I believe to be like the most important knowledge you need to have of context before I start just straight up yapping without any sense anymore about this story. I'm gonna try my best to keep the speed paints you're seeing on the background of this video about the characters I'm talking about. But, like I said, I have like 70 something characters. I have not drawn, not even the majority of them, and I cannot make any promises, but I will try to at least have like a picture of the character somewhere on screen. I'll either draw a quick portrait or do something like that, so you know who I'm talking about, because I think the faces are easier to recognize than the names, because there's going to be a lot of names being said here. But I'm going to try my best to make this digestible. This is not even like the full lore, it's just like a glance through because I really need to talk about these characters with someone or I'm going to fucking explode, okay? So that's why I'm doing this video. The main character of Wuthering Gifts is Athena Orintheus. She is the princess and eldest daughter of the king and queen of Salin, okay? Because she's the eldest daughter, she was supposed to be the new queen, right? The heir to the throne. Because this kingdom is not a patriarchy. So she was supposed to be the queen in the future. But she is not. And the reason for that is because Athena was born in 1403. Do you remember what happened in 1403? Exactly. The war. The war happened. And because the war happened, and it was like kind of the blame of it was put on Athena, because there was a whole like marriage situation. Athena was supposed to marry the prince of Sinor, but then she was supposed to be engaged to the prince of Salin, but she actually got engaged to the prince of Celestia, the kingdom that was at war with Eden. And Eden didn't like that, so that was like the quote-unquote reason why the war started. Not really, but a lot of people believe that that was the reason. So the blame was kind of put on Athena, which, not her fault, she was a newborn baby when this all happened, but it was blamed on her. When she was like 3 to 4 years old, a big secret of her royal family was leaked to the public, and the secret was that Athena's mom, Queen Meredith, was not actually royal blood. She was Queen Regent, but, she married the king, and she was just a random woman. She wasn't a noble, she wasn't anything. She was just, a random woman. And that wasn't viewed really well by the people. So Athena had a lot of backlash because of that. Having been born at a time of war and being quote unquote half blood were two things that a character in a certain prophecy shared with Athena. That character was the moon's daughter. She was a half blood and she was also supposed to be born at a time of war. Because of the similarities Athena had with the character in the prophecy, a lot of people started to believe that Athena was prophesized. Is that a word? Prophesized? You know, she was destined to destroy the world and kill people, and oh my god, that's so terrible. So, everyone got really fucking scared and started to freak out. And the way that they, you know, decided to like fix this, quote unquote, was to kill Athena. Jesus Christ. Was to kill Athena, not Jesus Christ. So a bunch of random people started to try to break into the castle to kill her, which, you know, it didn't work. It's a castle. There's a lot of people protecting it, but they tried. That's what is important here. They tried. They tried a lot. Sorry. They tried a lot to kill her, okay? When she was like 6-ish years old, she went out on this, there was like a holiday happening in Salem at the time, and she was like with her family at this parade thing. She was on top of like a thing. I don't know how to explain it. But she was like, you know, waving to the people and like being a princess and everything. And someone threw a rock in her face. It cut her eyebrow. It wasn't like a big injury or anything. But again, it was the intention behind it. Athena was really confused because she was a child. She was 6 when this happened. So she did not know that people were trying to kill her before. That was not a knowledge that her parents put on her because she was very much a kid. But after this happened, this was the first time someone actually managed to hurt her. So, you know, they couldn't hide it from her anymore. She started asking questions, and eventually her parents explained to her that, you know, some people didn't like her. Athena, being the very child she was, she freaked out and she got really, really scared, and she decided to run away because she thought, like, you know, if I'm no longer a princess, these people, they won't be able to find me. It was a very stupid line of thinking, but she was scared and she was a kid. She ran away and she stayed, like, missing for like a few days. And when she came back with another child, same age as her, but from a different kingdom, clearly because of the different, you know, magical features that that child had. The child's name was Luciella, but I'm gonna call her Lucy for short. Athena said that the two of them had become friends and that Lucy was an orphan, and she wanted to keep Lucy, like a pet, like a sister. She managed to convince her parents. You know, it's not like they didn't have money to raise two kids. They're royalty, so they're like, yeah, sure, we will adopt you, this child. You know, so Lucy and Athena became sisters when they were both 6 years old. After this happened, the murder attempts got worse and worse and worse, until eventually one of them almost managed to do it. Almost managed to do it. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. This woman who worked at the castle, she poisoned Athena's food when she was like 8, sort of, like ish, years old. And Athena got really, really sick. She almost died, but she managed to recover from it. After that, Athena's parents became kind of paranoid about the whole situation, and they decided to remove Athena from being heir to the throne in hopes that that would, like, ease the nerves of the people. Because, you know, she was just a princess now, she was not going to be queen. And it kind of worked, but there was a lot of pressure for them to name a new heir. Because, you know, there was a war happening, and although Salin was not in the war, things could change, and if something happened to King Aryan, he needed an heir to come after him. It couldn't be Lucy because she didn't have any royal blood in her. It couldn't be Athena because of the prophecy, so they had to try for a new child. When both girls, Athie and Lucy, turned 10 years old, their younger brother Theo was born. He was immediately named heir, which stung a little bit Athena, but she understood, as much as a 10-year-old can understand politics, why this was happening, but it hurt her a little bit. Another thing that happened when Athena and Lucy were 10 is that 10 years old is the age where, especially like royal children, but anyone who's from a well family, has money, they go to this magic academy. It's in an island in the middle of nowhere, and it doesn't belong to any kingdoms. It belongs to like an entity that is independent from all of the kingdoms. So it's its own thing, which means it wasn't participating in the war. It didn't have anything to do with it. And it's just a school that teaches magic to young children. Lucy and Athena went to the school. They were both 10, so they, stayed in the school, chilling, everything. And in this school is where they formed their little friend group. This friend group was composed of Athena, Lucy, both princesses of Salon, Arabella, or Bella, who was the princess of Eden, the kingdom that was at war, the prince of Sinor, Apollo, and the princess of Xenia, Isabis, or Isa. Oops, sorry. All 5 of them became friends, which was very, very weird for people around it, especially because of Athena, Arabella, and Apollo. Because Bella and Apollo, their kingdoms very much believe in the children of Eidos, the religion that thinks Athena is the Antichrist. Antichrist? The devil. So it was weird that they would be friends with Athena because of the whole prophecy thing. They were supposed to believe in it, technically, but they were all friends. The main reason for that was because they're all kind of losers in their own way, and they were all kind of isolated, so they found friendship with each other. Athena was very good at magic, so she actually skipped up a year. So in her grade, it was her, Bella, who was 1 year older than her, Isabis, who was 2 years older than her, but she had been held back a year because she's dumb, and it was the 3 girls. Other class, it was Apollo and Lucy because they were younger, right? So, yes, that's how the classes were lined up. All 5 of them were friends. They were like besties, and everything was doing perfectly fine. For around 4 years, things were doing fine. When Athena was 14 years old, she woke up one day and her mom was gone. Queen Meredith disappeared. Poof! Vanished out of the face of the earth. Remember, the war was still happening. And here's a piece of information I failed to mention. Celestia and Eden were at war, right? The king of Eden was Leon, Bella's father. The queen of Celestia was called Queen Ceres. Queen Ceres was friends with Queen Meredith, Athena's mom. The 2 of them were also friends with Apollo's mom, Queen Eliza, which they were supposed to be because Eliza is technically supposed to be politically, in different spectrums because Sinor and Eden are friends, but whatever. All 3 of the queens were friends with each other. They had been since they were crowned queens. When all of this was happening, when Athena was 14, and 3 days before Queen Meredith disappeared, Queen Ceres was captured, and the war was quote-unquote, almost over. Queen Ceres was captured. 3 days later, Queen Meredith disappears. There's a lot of theories going around about it, why it happened, but none of them are confirmed. A week after Queen Meredith disappears, Queen Eliza, Apollo's mom, ends herself. I don't know if I can say that word in YouTube. I don't think I can, but you know what I mean. So, everything's going to shit now, but the war is ending, so hooray. Athena is really upset about what happens. Apollo is obviously really upset about what happens. The 2 of them kind of shut themselves out. They don't talk to the group anymore. They're just in their own lane. But then, the war officially ends. Queen Meredith is nowhere to be found. They have a burial for her, empty casket. They don't know where she is. There's no proof she's dead, but, she hasn't been found. It has been months at this point. The war is officially considered over, and King Apollo and King Leon of Eden decides to throw a party to celebrate that the war is over. Another thing that I forgot to mention, Queen Ceres of Celestia, the one that was captured by King Leon, I think it was 5 or 6 years into the war, she killed the Queen of Eden. So she killed Arabella's mom and King Leon's wife. She killed her during the war. So, there is a personal vendetta going on there. It's not just politics. So, King Leon decides to throw this party. Arabella begs Apollo and Athena to go to the party so they can, cheer up a little bit. And the two of them eventually say yes. It has been months at this point that they have been mourning. So they are like, yeah, sure, we'll go. So they go. They actually start having a lot of fun in this party. And then, nothing stays good for too long. Apollo notices first that they are bringing someone into the main room where the party is happening, which is in the first floor of the castle. They realize that they are bringing someone in, but through the front door, and it's Queen Cerise, who was supposed to be in her cell. Okay, now here's the thing: public executions, not a thing that happens in this world. Death is considered sacred, and it's a whole thing, and you're not supposed to do that. It's bad, but they do it anyways. King Leon is set on having this revenge, and that he does. He chops her head off in front of everybody during the party. Everyone is shocked, but Athena is more shocked than everyone else. And it's not only because that is her mother's friend. The two of them didn't know each other, so it's not that much because of it, but it's because Athena always viewed her title as a princess as the thing that is protecting her. Because, there's the whole prophecy thing going on. The only people that have ever tried to hurt Athena were working class, lower class people. No one, no one rich or powerful or influential has ever tried to hurt Athena. And the reason for that is because Athena is a princess. Attempting against her life would be treason, and it could cause a war. So, she always viewed her title as something that protected her, but now she was just seeing this queen, not even a princess, a full queen, be publicly executed and humiliated in front of people. And she felt like the wall of privilege she thought was protecting her was never real. So she starts freaking out. Bella is the first person that notices Athena's freaking out. So she takes Athena's hand and goes up to the second floor to her father's office so the two of them can talk. The two girls disappear for a couple of minutes. Everyone at the party is still shocked. Cerise's body is just laying there. No one came to clean it up or pick it up, so people are just very confused. They can't really leave because the front door is being blocked by her body, so they don't know what to do. People are just talking and being really weird about it. King Leon has just been staring at her head disconnected from her body and just looking at it for the last 20 minutes. When everyone hears a noise, it's loud. It's just a thud of something falling. Sounds of bones breaking. When they turn around, they see Bella laying still on the floor. There's blood everywhere. King Leon runs up to his daughter. Arabella's older brother runs up to his sister, and everyone else around it just gathers around her body. When he flips her to face her, he notices that she didn't die from the fall. She has a dagger stuck to her chest. That's why she died. So she was murdered. There's not even a chance this was an accident and she just accidentally fell from the second floor. She was killed by someone. At this point, Athena's father starts to freak out because he knows his daughter was with Bella, but Athena is nowhere to be seen. They look for Athie for around 2 hours until they eventually find her in the back garden of the castle, staring blankly into nothing. They pick her up, they bring her home, and she doesn't talk for weeks. She doesn't eat, she doesn't do anything. She just stares, doesn't sleep, nothing. She's in complete shock. There are a lot of questions, as you can imagine, surrounding what happened, and once Athena kind of, gathers herself up, she's brought up to, their version of court, I guess. She claims to be innocent. She did not kill Bella. She says that she heard a noise outside of the window and someone came in. It was probably one of the people that were trying to kill Athena, and Athena just ran away. She told Bella to run away too, but she thinks Bella's, she stayed behind. She apologizes for being a coward, but she did not kill Arabella. The two of them were best friends. Out of the group of friends that they have, the two were the closest ones. They were everything for each other. A few people believe Athena, a few people clearly don't, but eventually she is released. There is no proof that she did anything, so they can't just arrest her for nothing. She goes back to her room, and only a couple of months after this happens, someone breaks into Athena's room with weapons and a lot of things in them. It's Prince Apollo, someone who was supposed to also be Athena's friend. It was clear to everyone that he was there to try to kill Athena for what she did to Bella, or what he thinks she did to Bella. And he's caught before he does anything. He's caught before he even wakes up Athena. She wakes up with the commotion of him being dragged away. Athena never sees Apollo again after that. She has no idea what happened to him. Some people say he has been thrown in prison. Some people say he died. Some people say he was exiled by his father and is just living his life. She doesn't know. He's gone. After this, things somehow get even worse for Athie. She starts feeling weaker and weaker as the day goes by. She starts throwing up and she starts seeing things that aren't real. She refuses to tell anyone because she refuses to be viewed as weak. But her father eventually notices and brings her to a doctor. After weeks of being examined, they found out that she's not sick. She's cursed. Someone put a curse on her, and it was obvious why, given the timing, but they didn't know who could have done something like that, who had the power to put a curse that powerful on someone. So there's no one to be charged for this crime. They find a potion that slows down the process of killing her. She has to take it twice a day, and it seems like it really, really does, tone down the symptoms, but they don't know if it will actually manage to, make her live in long term. 7 years passes ever since Arabella's death. Athena's life has kind of gone back to normal. Lucy and Isa, the remaining friends of that group that they had before, are still talking to Athena. They believe in Athena's innocence. They're all friends. They graduated the magical academy. They are chilling. They are fine. They're friends. Everything is going very smoothly. Athena does not tell anyone about the curse. The only person who knows it is her doctor and her father. She keeps a secret about it, so, everything is going fine. Until, it's always that, right? Everything's going fine until, in Eden, at a random day, they hear a knock in the door of the castle. Once the guards go to open it up, they see probably the last person they thought they would see. It's Arabella. She is holding a white, what looks like just pieces of fabric up to her so she isn't fully naked. It looks like the dress she was buried in when she died. She has dirt under her fingernails. Her fingernails are broken and almost falling off. And she has bruises all over her face. Her left eye is blind, but there's no actual injury in it. They don't know what happened to her. But, taking a guess of where she was before, she probably dug herself out of her grave. They scream for King Leon to just, come see what happened. And everyone is shocked. It's her. She's back. She somehow came back from the dead. When they ask her about it, she just says the gods gave her a second chance at life, and she's gonna make sure to do everything right this time. She doesn't elaborate on it. That's just all she says. She asks her father to throw another party, this time to celebrate her comeback. Everyone is invited, including Athena, who is very adamant about going, by the way. She does not want to go to that party. When asked why, that's your friend. She can clean your name. You can be proven innocent. Why would you not want to go? Athena just says that she feels like there's something off about this. She she's read magical books before about resurrections and how people come back wrong, or how they come back with not remembering things that happened, especially not remembering the day they died. If Arabella came back and she doesn't remember how she died, and someone poisoned her mind against Athena, then she thinks Athena killed her. What is Athena gonna do? How she's gonna prove herself to be innocent if the victim of the murder is saying she did it? She doesn't want to go. But Lucy, her sister, convinces her it's gonna be fine. Arabella knows you. She's your friend. She's never gonna think that you killed her. Athena eventually ends up agreeing and goes to the party. Once they arrive, it's around 7 p.m., and Arabella's not there yet. They ask about it, and they just say she's a little nervous about coming out and seeing all of these people after 7 years, and she's just gathering herself. 1 hour passes by, and nothing of Bella. Athena starts looking around, and she realizes that there are guards in every entrance on the first floor. There's guards in the stairs going up to the second floor. It's like they're trying to keep someone in. She starts freaking out. She's like, okay, there's no way this is just a party. This feels weird. People are looking at me weird. This is weird. She takes off. She runs away, she opens a portal, and she goes back to her castle. She's not sticking around to see if they're actually, planning to do something with her or not. 5 minutes after Athena leaves, Arabella comes out. She starts talking to people. She gives out a speech about how grateful she is to be back, about how the gods gave her a second chance. The same thing she said when she came back initially. But she finishes off her speech talking about bringing justice to the person that killed her. Talking about how that person had been invited to that party as a way to maybe redeem herself in the future if she could. How this is that person's second chance. If Athena can come forward and apologize for what she did that night, Arabella will forgive her. But Athena is not there anymore. She left. She can't ask for forgiveness. She's not even there. Seeing this, Arabella immediately requests for everyone to go look for her and for her to be brought up and taken to the dungeons and to a cell immediately. Athena's father, who attended the party, goes up to her and begs to just calm down. Let's see if we can fix this some other way. Isabis and Lucy, the two people who had, convinced her to come to the party, start looking for her everywhere in hopes that they can find her before the guards. Eventually they realize she's probably not here. She's too smart. She probably came back home. They ask Theo, their younger brother, to open a portal. He's young. He's 12. So, he struggles with it a little bit, but eventually he manages to do the portal. He opens it. Isa and Lucy go back to the castle where Athena is in. They talk to her. They explain to her what happened, and she's like, first of all, I told you so. Second of all, I need to get the fuck out of here. Once they're sure I'm not in that castle, this is the first place they're gonna come looking for me. I need to go. Lucy and Isa claim that they're gonna go with her. Athena's like, no. They're like, yes. Athena's like, no. They're like, yes. Eventually, they all agree. They're all going. Whatever. They pack up some clothing. They go over to Isabel's castle so she can pick up some shit. And then they go. They go to a random florist. They camp there for one night. And then they go up to a very small town. They find a hotel and camp there for another night. But these are 2 nights that they have slept out. And if you remember correctly, Athena needs to drink her potions twice a day. She does not have all that many potions. On the 3rd day after they wake up, Athena's stack of potions is gone. The ones that she uses to heal herself from the curse. She doesn't drink one in the morning where she's supposed to, and by, afternoon, she collapses. She just falls, and she just, she collapses. Isa and Lucy are scared. They don't know what's going on because they haven't been told about the curse. They don't know why she's like this. And they are almost going back to the castle in hopes that they can, make her live. When 3 people walk into their hotel room. Kavi, Erica, and Sienna. These 3 people are unknown to them. They don't know who they are. They walk in, they give them a letter, and the letter is sealed with Athena's mom's sigil, like the stamp that Athena's mom used to use. Lucy recognizes it immediately. She asks them who they are, and they're just like, "We can help you. We know what's going on with Athy. Just bring her to us, and we'll help. We swear we're not going to do you any harm." Lucy and Isa are not the smartest. Lucy is very naive. Isa is very stupid, so they don't really see a way out of this. They just go with them. They go through a portal, and they are in this, like, underground place. There's a bunch of people in there. Everyone's looking at them a little weird. They don't know where they are, but they just follow them. Kavi is, holding Athena in his arms. They go up to a room, they give Athena the potion, and, 1 hour later, she wakes up. She's freaking out. She has no idea where she is. She's almost, preparing herself to fight these people when someone walks into the door. It's not someone they know. They have no idea who this woman is. There's one specific characteristic about her that makes Athena stop immediately once she sees her. I want you to look at this picture. This is Athena's family tree. Okay? This is Athena's family. You can ignore Lucy because she's not biologically related to them. But do you notice what Athena and her mom have in common that her brother and her father don't? The golden markings on their faces. This is something that only Athena and her mom have. In all the kingdom of Salin, all of the witches that live in that kingdom, their markings are either slightly darker or lighter than their skin tone. Gold, never seen. When Athena asked her mom what it was about, Athena's mom just said it was a genetic mutation that their family had. The woman that walked into the door had gold marks on her face, which either meant that this was a more common genetic condition that Athena thought, or that this woman was somehow related to her. And it was obviously the latter, because how boring would it be if it was the first, right? This woman says she is Athena's, grandma aunt. She's her mom's aunt, okay? And she says that they are in a place called Lotus. The name immediately rings a bell to all 3 girls. Lotus is a rebellious group that are, trying to destroy monarchy and install equality and eat the rich and communism and that kind of stuff. So they were confused. We are the rich that you're trying to eat. Why are you helping us? The woman, whose name is Zoe, says that she promised Athena's mom that she would protect them once the time came. She points to the letter that was initially shown to Lucy. Lucy's holding it, and she gives it to Athena, and Athena opens it, and it's a letter written by her mom, explaining that if she's reading that letter, something happened to her, and she's supposed to, trust Zoe and work with them because, royalty is bad and fuck the rich and that kind of stuff. So, Athena's confused, but she's like, yeah, whatever. I mean, the rich are currently trying to kill me, so I guess I will stay with you guys. Zoe says that she has maybe something that could cure Athena. It's a book of dark magic spells and curses, and it's a magical book of illegal shit, okay? The book is technically a legend. A lot of people think it doesn't exist, but Zoe claims that they have proof of where the book either could be or was because of the magic energy that it releases, and they are feeling it and whatever. They agree to go after the book, after explaining to Lucy and Isa the curse and they being very angry at Athena for keeping it from them. They all decide to go to this small town where the book supposedly was. So Lucy, Isa, Athena, Kavi, Erica, and Sienna, all 6 of them form a little group, a team, to go after this book. There's a lot of reasons why, besides saving Athena, that they are going after the book, but I'm not going to go there just yet because too much lore, too much shit, and for another video, okay? So they go after this book, okay? They're in there, they're chilling. They, sorry, they find a hotel that they can camp. So, in the morning they can go investigate. They sleep over the night, and then in the morning they go to try to find the source of this, like, dark energy that the town has. They don't find it. They can't pinpoint exactly where the energy is coming from. It's a lot more weak than they thought it should be for a full book of dark magic. So it's probably not the book, but it's something. It's definitely something. They can't find it. They stay, like, looking for it the fucking entire day. They go to library, museums, everywhere. Eventually they give up. They just, we'll have it another day. They go back to the hotel. And when they're going in, the hotel has, like, a lobby where you check in that's also a tavern where you can drink. And then the second floor, it's the hotel. Once they walk into the tavern part of the building, Athena's the first one to notice. She feels something familiar. Everyone has a unique magic energy that they release, like an aura. Like, it's different for everyone, like your prince. And Athena feels it first. She's the first one who notices it. She's very strong magically, so she's very sensitive to these things. She looks over to the, like, where you sit to drink. I forgot what it's called. And she sees this man drinking, and she's like, I know this motherfucker. She runs up to that guy. If she was wrong about this, it would have been so embarrassing, but she wasn't. She runs up to that guy, and she immediately pins him to the balcony. Like, she's choking him. And when she gets a look in his face, she sees it. It's definitely him. It's Apollo. Apollo. They were friends. He tried to go kill her. That Apollo, yeah. It's him. It's that motherfucker. She's like, what the actual fuck are you doing here? Last time she seen this guy, it was like almost 7 years ago, and he was trying to kill her, right? And, he was trying to kill Athena for Bella, and now Bella was back. Did he even know she was back? Did he care at all? They didn't know. But Athena was sure he was here to kill her. She's, like, choking him, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, I'm having a drink, bitch. Get the fuck off of me. They have a little sparring, a little fight, when eventually, the rest of the team gets the two of them to calm down, and they're like, let's go up to our room so we stop having this very much dangerous conversation in front of these people. They go up to their room. Apollo is, like, tied up. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, I am in a mission. And they're like, what are you talking about? He explains that after he got exiled, because that's what happens, he was exiled by his father. He was a pirate for a couple of years, and then his crew tried to kill him for a bullshit thing that he did. And then now he's like a bounty hunter. He's like a hitman. And he's in town because this random woman found out her husband was cheating and she wants him dead. So he killed him yesterday. And now he's just having a drink and he's gonna sleep so he can continue his journey. He didn't even know they were here. Athena doesn't buy it. She's like, there's no fucking way. You're here randomly. This is a very small village. Too much of a coincidence. I'm not stupid. She keeps him tied up, even though everyone else is like, just let him go. Just, like, let him go. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna let him go. He knows where I am now. Eventually, they're talking about the plan, and Apollo overhears it, and he's like, oh, are you guys after that fucking book? I know where it is. And they're like, what? And he's like, well, not exactly, but I know how to get there. They're like, what? And he's like, yeah, the guy I killed, he has a page of that book in his safe. I, like, stole his shit when I went there to kill him, but it was just a page of a book. I knew it was, like, dark magic, but I don't fuck with that thing. So I just left it there. I didn't have use for it. The spell that was written in it was bullshit, so I didn't care. You're like, oh, okay, you fucking dumbass. Where is his house? He goes over to his house. He serves as a distraction for the wife that hired him. And all of them go up to that guy's room. They open the safe, and there it is. It's a page of the book. They pick it up, and they go back to the hotel. And Athena's like, okay, if you can help us find this book, I won't kill you. How does that sound? And he's like, that sounds amazing, Athena. Thank you so much. And they ask her, they ask him, like, do you even know where the rest of the pages are? And he's like, yeah, so there's this, like, rumor, but it's true, on the hitman community, on the bounty hunter community, that like 40 years ago, there was a treasure hunt where the last treasure was the book. And it was like a puzzle situation. Like, whoever set up the treasure hunt, they ripped a bunch of pages off of the book and they hid the pages. And everywhere you have like a puzzle that will unlock the page in the next location you have to go. And then eventually the last page will get you to the location of the book. This guy that I killed, he was a bounty hunter 40 years ago. And him and his teammate were the only people that managed to find the page. They found 2 pages. He kept one and his teammate kept the other one. I know who his teammate is, I know where he is, so I can help you find the second page. And, he's still alive, so he can tell us where he found that page, and we can go there to try to break the puzzle that they couldn't, so we can find the third page, and then the fourth, fifth, until they find the book. They're like, okay, if you're bullshitting us, we're gonna kill you, bitch. Like, you're dead. And then, they go out on a little adventure. They go out to find the book. That's all as far as I'm gonna go in the timeline of the story. But if you're wondering about the other characters, like, what happened to the other people? Arabella was pissed as fuck that Athena got away. So she's just like she's just trying to capture her. That's her role in the beginning of the story. Anything else, she grows into a much more significant character and she has her own stuff. But that's spoilers I don't want to get into. But mainly, she's trying to get Athena. Athena's younger brother, Theo, who also stays behind, also has his own plot going on. He's also trying to find Athena, but when he's looking for Athena, he finds one of his mother's letter, and his main plot is actually trying to find out what happened to his mom. So, Athena, and in her POV, she's after the book, Arabella is after Athena, and Theo is after his mom. And that's the story. I'm not gonna go too much deeper onto it because there's spoilers, and I am gonna make a comic about this. But I just wanted to yap about my characters for a little bit. I have other stories as well that I maybe will make videos like this on. And I also will probably make like character design videos of the main 7 characters of the story. Athena, Lucy, Isa, Kavi, Erica, Sienna, and Apollo, all 7 of them. There is already a video on this channel, I think, of their character designs, but it sucks. Don't even go watch it. It's terrible. I'm gonna make another one with better art and better me. And I'm gonna try to make better audio as well because I know that the audio sucks ass. But I need a microphone and I haven't bought one yet, so I'm so sorry. If you manage to get through this session of me yapping with a terrible voice because I'm sick and coughing and bad audio, you're brave. Good job. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, if you care about the story in any capacity, you can stick around because there will be more videos about it on the future. Thank you so much for watching. Drink water and eat the rich.